please help me welcome out to the stage, Kerr Smith. You get the therapy couch.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can I lie down?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, guys.
Welcome. So welcome to Raleigh. Welcome, North Carolina. Is this your first time in the area?
The last time I was in Raleigh was 2003,
Oh my gosh.
season 6, because we used Dawson's. We used Duke as the college.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do the math. How long was that? 22 years, somebody said. 22 years.
Don't remind me.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Are you living in Utah now?
I had a house
You
in
had a
Utah
house in
for
Utah.
22 years. That's going to keep popping up. 22 years.
22.
That's weird.
That's
Just sold it, but Park
Okay.
City's a big part of my life. So yeah, I did live out there for a while, but now I'm in Central California.
okay. Because I was just in Salt Lake City a couple weeks ago and just fell in love with so listen. I'm from Florida where it's like just 100 degrees and hot and wet every day, and then going there, seeing mountains, and
Totally different.
it was totally different. So what made you, with working within the industry, move to Utah?
Skiing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get that.
I'm a huge skier. Always have been my entire life. And my dad came to me in 2000. He said, "Hey, do you want to buy a place in PC?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we bought it together, and it's been in the family ever since.
So did you go to when the Olympics were there?
So that was 2002.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, this place is really going to appreciate. This is going to be great. No.
No, it
No.
did not.
I wasn't actually even there for the Olympics.
So you weren't. Oh, so you was like actually the year after.
It was 2002 for the Olympics.
Right.
I bought it 2 years prior to that.
Oh, okay. So you didn't go to the Olympics.
Nope.
I heard it's gonna come back.
To Park City or to Salt Lake?
yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Is there because going to the Olympics, I'm a big sports fan. So going to like the Olympics, the World Series, things like that, big bucket list items. Do you have any of those big, going to the Olympics, things like that, bucket list items that you haven't done yet?
I want to go on like a sick catamaran trip. Hop island to island. I want to do it with my family and just, for weeks on end, just have a great time. That's my number one bucket list.
That's the number one bucket list.
Yeah.
Do you, you said you moved back to Central, you said Central?
So I'm in Central California now. I was done with LA. I have 22 years in LA. This is getting weird. That's enough for me. Jeez.
So, you're still able to work then? Do you commute to LA, or is it, to do work, or are you doing a lot of outside of, traveling? Because not all work is in LA.
Very little of it actually is these days. Yeah, it's all over the place. In fact, a lot of it's out here like Atlanta and all over the place. So you don't need to live in LA anymore as a performer.
When did you realize that you didn't have to? Because a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to go to LA, I'm going to go wait tables, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to be seen, to make it. When did you realize that, man, I don't need to live here to have a career?
It was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
When all that craziness went down.
Right.
The whole business changed, so you could live anywhere you want because everything that we auditioned for was now put on tape remotely, so you could live anywhere you wanted to. You didn't have to physically go into a room anymore, which I really miss because it's kind of how you get a job. You sell yourself without selling yourself.
Right.
You get to meet the people that are putting the movie together. The way it is now, it's just you put yourself on a tape, and it's equal playing ground with thousands of other people going for the same part.
So that's why I hear a lot about is there's no feedback when there's no,
Nope.
hey, can you do it this way? Oh, that's exactly what we wanted. And then moving on.
Every once in a while, you'll do it via Zoom, which is even worse, in my opinion, but you can get the feedback that way.
I suppose so. Now, you mentioned Dawson's Creek. Is Dawson's Creek, is it Final Destination? What is the project, the film television show that people most recognize you from if you're out and about and somebody says, oh my gosh, you're from blah, blah, blah?
As the world turns. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, we've got one person clapping. So thank you for solidifying that joke. Dawson's.
Dawson's.
But I mean, Final Destination's obviously a close second. Everybody,
Right.
that franchise is huge.
Right.
But those would be the big two.
And you get tagged in so many log photos. People driving behind logs.
Oh God, nobody wants to fly with me. Wait, are you the guy that Oh no, I'm getting off the plane, and that causes a whole commotion.
Again, so you mentioned Dawson's Creek, and I want to talk about obviously the episode of Anti-Prom, right?
Yes. Well, that's a specific. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it is a revolutionary episode in television history, right? The first gay kiss on.
Well, that's not Anti-Prom. That's True Love,
Is that
which
True
is
Love?
it's the season ender for season 3. When the kiss happened?
All right.
Yeah, that's True Love.
Okay.
Anti-Prom is when I was taking somebody. I can't remember what actor it was. Does anybody remember what actor it was? I can't remember. One of the guys. No? Come on. So everybody here is for Final Destination, apparently.
Charmed.
Charmed. My Bloody Valentine.
My
Oh,
Bloody
yeah. All right. Anyway, so it's the True Love episode.
Okay, it's True Love episode. So, being the first gay kiss on primetime national television, did you realize at that time how important that was, or was it just like, oh, okay, well, this is different, and then moving on?
Yes and no. I mean, I was not hired to play that character. That was thrown at me 4 months after I started the job. I was hired to, create some chaos between Dawson and Joey.
Right.
Right? So Kevin Williamson comes down to town. He comes into Wilmington one day, and he's like, hey, can we go get a cup of coffee? And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm either getting fired or we're doing something crazy here. Right. But I could kind of sense it coming. Do you know what I mean? Because every character on that show is a facet of Kevin's personality, but his sexuality wasn't represented yet on that television show. And I figured he might be going down this avenue, and that's exactly what he said. He goes, hey, Kerr, we want to go down a different avenue with Jack. Are you in? Of course, I said yes. Took me about a day to really figure it out and, ask some opinions. But did I know how big of a deal it was on that day? Yeah, I did. But at the same time, I was so scared. In '98, I mean, that was a very difficult part to play.
Right. Yes.
It wasn't very accepted at all.
100%.
So I knew what we were doing, but at the same time, I had to put these blinders on so I wouldn't think about it too much and just, do my job the best that I could and hope to God that, it was going to be well, accepted.
Right.
And at some point, we could get to society, looking at everybody else and opinions and all that. At some point, we get to that where we are today, where it's like, so what?
Right.
Who cares? It's great. So now every TV show out there now has a gay character. It's no big deal.
Right. Truly groundbreaking and groundbreaking television. I think some folks were mentioning My Bloody Valentine, Charmed. You have a Charmed cookie. He has a Charmed cookie in his pocket.
It's getting warm. It's pretty cool, though. It's well done by a local bakery.
And I want to talk about, again, Final Destination as, growing up. Obviously, still to this day, when I get on flights, I fly a lot for GalaxyCon. It's still in the back of my mind every single time. I'm like, is this the time? Did you realize when did you realize that project, that franchise had legs?
Well, the very first realization to me was when they changed the title of the film, because it was originally titled Flight 180, which is stupid. And I remember being on set. We were up at the Vancouver airport doing all the airport stuff, and I was having a conversation with one of the producers, and I said, this title sucks. He's like, yeah, I know, we're working on it. And like 2 weeks later, he comes back to me, he goes, we got it. It's Final Destination. I was like, oh, yes, of course, that's perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could have a Flight 180 Part 2 or 3 or
Flight 181, I don't know, 182. Flight 22.
so it was around that time that you realized, hey, maybe that this has the growing power, and people are still talking about it.
That was the first conversation where I was like, okay, this could be something really cool. But in that same conversation, he was telling me, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're doing some pretty cool stuff on set. And I was like, well, what? And we were in the airport, so he said, well, look at the jetway. I went over the jetway, and I'm 6 feet tall, and the jetway was like 2 feet over my head.
Right.
We walked down the jetway, and by the time I got down to the end, it was like the ceiling was 2 inches over my head. So they were building in angles and these weird skews that made your brain go,
Right.
something's a little off.
Right.
Which I thought was really cool. And they did that all throughout the movie. Like when Todd dies in the bathroom, with the spoiler alert,
Right.
the tiles are not 90 degrees. So it was little things like that just makes your brain go, this doesn't seem right. I was like, this is going to be something special.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a favorite kill?
I like when when my girlfriend dies with the bus, because you
With
just
the-
see it coming out of nowhere.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I remember that day, and the way they shot it was kind of cool, because we didn't have the CGI tech we do today. So Amanda's in the street, Carter, you dick, whatever she says, and then we remove her, then the bus goes by with nobody there.
Right.
The camera's roped off, it doesn't move, even a millimeter. And then a third shot where the bus goes by and hits a extremely expensive dummy of Amanda.
Right.
And then they just kind of blend all 3 of those shots together, and they did it right there on set in the camera truck.
Oh.
And like I'd say 30 minutes later, after they were done, they were like, come here, check it out. And I watched that scene, I was like, oh my God, that is sick. It's really well done.
And then Mean Girls went and stole the exact same scene.
They did?
Yes, right? Yeah, Mean Girls did the exact same.
Were they making fun of us, or did they just steal it?
They just straight up stole it.
That's funny. Mean Girls. Isn't Busy Phillips in that? Was it?
No.
Different one, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then I want to talk about something nobody actually, I don't think anybody mentioned, Riverdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to be a principal.
Full circle for me, bro.
Right.
I'll tell you, that was weird. So a lot of people don't know this, but Greg Berlanti is the executive producer of Riverdale, who was also a producer on Dawson's. That's where he started his career. And he's a huge, huge producer now. So, yeah, so he asked me to come on the show and play Holden Honey, and I'm like, yep, I'm in.
Right.
He let me do whatever I wanted with the character, which I had a blast putting together. It was kind of, in the back of my head, it was Mr. Smith from The Matrix.
Okay.
That's kind of the demeanor that I wanted to
Yeah.
have. And I just wanted to own this school like it was my own little prison that I was running. But it was really full circle for me, because I remember, God, back in the day, we had a lot of principals on Dawson's, but one of them was Harry Shearer from the Simpsons.
Yeah.
And I remember he was interrogating us, because I think we put his boat in the pool or something. I don't know how the hell we did that, but that's what the storyline was. And he was falling asleep in his chair between takes. And I'm this young kid. I'm sitting here. I remember thinking, how in the hell, with all this chaos going on around you, can you fall asleep in between takes? Well, you cut to Riverdale. I'm playing the principal, and I'm falling asleep between takes in my chair. And I was just like, man, is this where we are now?
So how much did you take from maybe previous experiences of other principals, or maybe dealings with principals, into that role?
None.
None? Okay.
I mean, I would go to the extent of maybe the warden in Shawshank. I pulled from that. Like I said, that was my prison. That's what I considered it.
Was Honey supposed to be was Honey Holden supposed to be like a one-time, hey, you're going to do this, or did you know that it was going to be
The role?
Yeah.
I knew I was going to do about 8 or 10. I forget what it was I did for them, yeah. We got cut short a little bit. Like 419 was the last episode, Killing Mr. Honey, which I would think I was supposed to do 1 or 2 more, but the whole business shut down back then. So we got cut short a little bit. But it was a fitting ending for the character.
By the way, so as I mentioned, we do have a mic here, so if you guys have questions, my buddy Nick is first here. Yeah, we'll go. Nick, how you doing, bud?
I was just wondering about the final scene of Final Destination. How is that done effect-wise?
The sign?
Yeah.
me think about that for a second. You know that wasn't the original ending, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the original ending, Devin dies and I live, and didn't test well. They wanted to see my character die because he's kind of a jerk. So we shot that Paris stuff 6 months after we were actually done filming the movie. Yeah, in the winter of like 2000, I think it was, or maybe it was 99. I think that was green screened in. I remember being there in the, with the exterior, but obviously there was no sign. It would have killed me.
Right.
So they put that in with CGI, and they probably paid quite a bit for it, because like I said, it wasn't very good back then. It was expensive. Yeah.
All right,
Nick?
thank you.
You didn't like that answer, did you? Yeah, I don't know if he's telling the truth.
Hey, Kerr.
Hello.
Hey.
I talked to you a little earlier. I'm from Wilmington. Can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about how you got cast on Dawson's Creek, and maybe what your favorite episode to work on was?
This is crazy. I'll try and keep this brief because it's such a great story, but it's... So I'm in New York. I'm driving out to California. I've done almost nothing, and I'm thinking in my mind on the 4-day drive, what show would I like to be on? And what came to mind was Party of Five, because it was big, but it was kind of
Right.
fizzling in and out. It had a couple years left, but there was this new show on television. I had seen the pilot, and it was called Dawson's Creek, and I was like, okay, well, that would be a fantastic job. Now, again, I'm nobody. I don't have any experience at all, except for As the World Turns. And I just obsessed about thinking about it for like 4 days on the road. So I get out to Los Angeles, I pull into Venice. My first appointment was for Party of Five. Now, I screwed it up. It sucked. I was absolutely terrible. I obviously did not get the role, but it wasn't a bit part. It was for the boyfriend of Nev Campbell. I think one of the Londons got it, Jeremy, or I forget his brother's name. So I didn't get that. A couple weeks later, I have what's called a general with a woman named Kathleen Lettery, who was the head casting director of the WB at the time. The WB was a brand new network at that time. And general is just, there's no audition. You just go in, it's a meet and greet. Hi, I'm Kerr, this is who I am, blah, blah, blah. Just got into town. Half an hour later, I'm leaving, and the conversation went so well. She turns to me, she goes, Kerr, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find a place for you on our network. And I went, oh my God, right? Couple weeks later, a few auditions later of Dawson's Creek, here we are. So you want to talk about manifesting what it is you want in life. It actually happened in that order.
That's crazy,
It's crazy.
because that can be dangerous as well, to fixate on something and then not get it, and then like totally throw you off your path. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing, is to be like, oh, that's what I want, and then getting that without even like a real audition.
Yeah. Well, no, I did
Well,
audition.
but I'm talking about with the general, like,
Yeah.
with the general first, is
Yeah.
like that wasn't what you weren't going to audition for that initially. So
Yeah.
I love that.
It was crazy. But to answer the rest of your question, where'd you go? Yeah, there was a series of maybe 3 or 4 more auditions, because you got to go through producers, then studio, then network, and everybody's got to make this decision. So that was the casting process for me. And to answer your second question, I don't have a favorite episode. I liked them all for different reasons. The finale I really loved because it was, I just love working with Michelle, honestly, a lot. I mean, we had a really good time, and we got to develop that on-screen relationship that everybody loves.
That crew was great too. I
That's
was an
right, you were
extra.
there, yeah.
I was an
forgot.
extra.
Yeah, he was an extra. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
the crew is fantastic. That crew is a well-oiled machine, because to this day they're still working together. So they know exactly what they're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I do got a sort of like an awkward or funny question. I'm a big fan of the Final Destination series, so I always like to rewatch it and look at details and stuff.
Yeah.
In the one scene where Carter's sitting in the car when the train's about to hit and Devon Sawa pulls him out, after the part where Billy kind of gets beheaded, as soon as you stand up at that scene, like, did you have like sweat in your pants, or was it supposed to be like you pee yourself as soon as you got almost close to death?
You are observant for the details, yes. The script said Carter peed his pants. They took it out of the script, and I had him put it back in because I thought it was so good. Because I wanted to show that the only reason he's a tough guy is because he's more scared than anybody else there. So yes, that was water. I'm not a method actor. It wasn't urine.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
If you could have chosen your character's death in Final Destination, how would you have liked Carter to die?
I've never gotten that. That's a good question.
That's an awkward question.
Wow.
Let's not manifest this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe quartered? Old school style? That would be really gross for the movie.
Yeah.
If you're asking me in real life, I'd just like to go in my sleep.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Grayson, and I was wondering, while you're playing Axel in My Bloody Valentine, what was your favorite part to film as the serial killer?
I liked all the stuff in the mine. That was an actual working mine, and it was spooky. I don't know if you've ever been inside of a cave that far in before, but it's really strange. It's very humid. It's a constant 55 degrees, I think, and Jensen and I had to do this whole fight scene in that space. We actually did it, which was crazy that we did, because he's very tall, and he was hitting his head. But that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Thank
With,
you.
with My Bloody Valentine being, I guess, a remake, did you go and look at any original source material? Did they tell you, hey, don't worry about original source material?
I wish they said don't worry about it, because that movie sucks. I did go back and watch it just because that's my job,
Of
and
course.
I pulled absolutely nothing from it.
Right.
Because it wasn't even really the same story.
Right.
Right? So, I feel bad. Are any of the actors that were in the original movie in this room right now?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, Grace.
Hi,
Hello.
my name
Hey.
is Victoria, and I was going to ask, what was the most grueling or the worst part about working on My Bloody Valentine?
Wearing that wig when I was a kid, when I played the younger me. I hate wearing wigs. That's a stupid answer, I know, but I really
I
do
know.
not.
I get it.
I think that's a great
It
answer.
hurts because they put your hair back so hard, like it hurts. It's like it's getting pulled out of your scalp because they
Yeah.
put that cap on and they put the wig on. I just don't enjoy wearing wigs. So that was the most. Is it grueling? Is that the word you used?
No, I definitely get it, though.
And if you look at that that scene when we go into the mine as kids, I actually hit my head on one of the beams. They kept it in the film.
Yep.
And
Like
it-
the stormtrooper? You stormtroopered it up?
He sure did.
and it moved my wig like 2 inches back, and I just kind of fixed it like because I think I had a hat on as well, kind of covered it up. But yeah, it was. If you really look, it looks ridiculous.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Can't believe you stormtroopered it up.
Hey, my name is Olivia, and I actually have two questions. The first one is, what was it like developing Jack and Jen's relationship with Michelle on Dawson's Creek? And then, are you Team Dawson or Team Pacey?
Well, like I said before, it was really fun playing that. You know, I mean, it wasn't us that was doing it. It was obviously the writer's decision to team us up, and I thought it was a really natural decision. You know, we were both the outsiders, and it was just a natural friendship. But, you know, Michelle said to me many times, it's like, you know, everybody comes up to her, and it's not they always talk about that friendship. It was their favorite part of the show, and it was certainly mine and hers as well. So, yeah. I'm writing a book right now on my journey through the whole Dawson's Creek experience. So I've recently connected with just about everybody. I've done like 25 interviews. So I actually am talking to Michelle hopefully in about 2 weeks. So we're going to be talking about that a lot. So please, you know, go check that out. It'll be about another year. I'm Team Jack. What do you think?
Thank you.
A popular thing in the industry right now is rewatches with podcasts and things like that. Have you
I've thought about doing that. I thought about doing that with Meredith, actually. She played my sister. You know, we'd call it the McPhees or something like that. But I don't know, it just seems like a lot of work. And I don't know if I want to rewatch everything over and over and over. You know, I'm doing it now. I don't want to do it again.
right? Are you somebody who likes to watch your work, or once you're like, I don't like, because all I'm going to do is critique?
Yeah,
like-
I've gotten over that. Like in the beginning,
Okay.
you critique yourself a lot. So I've gotten over that. But do I enjoy watching myself? Not really.
okay.
Yeah, I really don't.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Leslie, and I know that a lot of actors go through different gambits of either doing teen dramas, horror movies. Which genre do you like to have fun and play? Because no one's really mentioned Forsaken, because I think you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like one of my first ones where I saw you in like a different light. You were doing more action stuff. You were really funny, and I didn't know if you started going towards the horror genre, doing My Bloody Valentine after that, and then Final Destination. So I was wondering, is that more of the genre that you kind of have fun with, or do you kind of like go in and out as an actor would?
Well, you don't really have the choice. Like, you just take the jobs that are given to you. You're lucky enough to get these jobs. So that's just kind of the path that I went with. But yeah, for Forsaken, I like that movie.
I thought
it's
it was
underrated.
amazing. Yeah, it is.
You put vampires together in the desert, it's like, I'm in.
And you had hot guys like fighting vampires?
Oh,
Come
hot
on.
guys, totally. Yeah, all over that movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So along those lines, was there a role where, or even a time where you were like, all right, I need to get out of like that Dawson's Creek, that high school type, younger towards, all right, now I'm looking for adult roles, or this was my first adult role, and boom, it's moving forward. That is what you're shooting for now.
Good question. Yeah, I consciously was, because of the role of Jack and that whole storyline. In my first summer break, which is when I did Final Destination, I was very specifically seeking out a more macho kind of character. So I was very lucky, and I guess I manifested that one too. Didn't even think, yeah. But yeah, so Carter Horton was perfect for that. Yeah.
Hello.
Favorite slasher villain?
Ooh, favorite slasher.
Favorite slasher. I don't know if it's considered a slash. I'm not a huge slasher guy. I'm more of like a Leviathan or an Aliens or the Abyss kind of guy. You know what I mean?
All right, then.
I mean, if you had a gun to my head, I would probably go with Halloween. Yeah, old school, the old stuff.
School. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
I don't think Nick likes your answers.
I know, right?
Hello.
Hello.
So for Dawson's Creek, for your final script read, or for you all's final script read, what was your reaction to the end of season 6, where you read that Jen dies?
Wow, so specific. I cried.
As anyone should.
As Kerr, I cried. Yeah, I mean, it was sad. I knew that it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
We had talked about it, but I just knew because, it's a unique experience to end a series. When you're fortunate enough to be able to play one of these characters and have this amazing experience with these really great people, and it's coming to an end, that in itself is enough to make me cry. So that last episode, especially those last scenes when Jen dies, it was really, really difficult. The scene on the bed and I just kind of curl up, and I mean, we just kind of did that because it just felt right.
Mm-hmm.
So, shit, you're making me tear up now. Yeah, that was really special.
And another question, what was your reaction, or were you surprised to see that Doug and that your character and
Yeah.
Doug were together?
So I talked to Kevin Williamson about that just the other week because I didn't know. And I was like, this has got to be an inside joke. But he was like, no, it actually wasn't. It just seemed like a natural thing to do because Pacey was always making fun of his brother, and it just seemed like the thing to do. And I'm glad that they did it. I think it worked. To this day, I hate the way they did the reveal. I hate the way I played it when he pulls me over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I watched it the other week, and I'm just like, oh man, I would make such different choices, 25 years later.
22 years later.
22 years later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, my name's Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi. So I was born and raised in Emerald Isle, which is about an hour north of Wilmington, so we're neighbors. A lot of memories in Wilmington. What is a funny memory that you have, maybe with cast members, something that you can tell in front of the children here? But any funny story
Are there
that...
children in here? I've sworn a couple times. I'm sorry. I can't see anything. But yeah, my most favorite memory would be the weekends where we would, anybody that owned a boat or a jet ski or whatever, we would congregate down at Dockside, which is right there on the bay. Yeah, there you go.
Yep,
You
yep.
know what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about. You know, get some crabs, burgers, everything you needed, load up the boats, and we would ride out to Masonboro Island and just spend the day out there. And, you know, anybody that was in town, guest stars and writers and everything, we just took them out there and had a blast. It's just the most amazing thing. I've been trying to recreate that kind of experience for 22 years
Yeah.
and haven't been able to. So
Sounds
it's
like you need to come back to Wilmington.
I know, I
and
do.
film some more.
Waterfront, if it comes out.
Well,
Talk to Kevin.
I did talk to Kevin, and he said, yeah, we can do that. So hopefully it happens. I'd love to get back.
We would love to have you.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you so much for portraying the natives in our area. We were very much happy to see that we were portrayed in a really good way. And you all just really nailed it. And it's sometimes, you know, in movies, especially, and if it's filmed in your area, you're like, oh, you know, when you,
Yeah.
not to name drop Outer Banks, but when you take the ferry to Chapel Hill, you know, you're like, no. But thank you, because you really encapsulated our area. So thank you.
Right on, right on.
There's going to be some people waiting for you outside the door.
Hi, I'm Jessie.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with most of your work aside from Charmed.
What
I have some
I was
homework
gonna say,
to do.
what are you doing in this room?
Friend. You said you're writing a book. When that comes out, do you anticipate narrating the audiobook?
Yeah, I am doing the audiobook.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the question? You don't have something better than that? You have no charmed questions. You just said you're killing me. Go sit with this guy over here. Just kidding, buddy.
Hi, my name's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
So I'm a teacher, and a question I like to ask is there a teacher in your life growing up that really influenced you or supported you into like who you became as an actor or a person?
As a person, yeah. Mr. Smith, second grade. For no particular reason other than he was just a nice guy. Yeah. Just remember, you know, second grade, what are you learning, really?
Right.
But he was just a nice guy. I remember we had this. Are you a second grade teacher?
No, I teach high school.
Oh,
I could
you're a
not do
second grade
elementary
teacher.
school.
You're a second grade teacher. You teach high school.
Yeah.
He had this, it was a hamster or gerbil or something that was like a class pet, and each week one of the students would get to take it home. I remember the animal's name was Fudgy. Nice. And I remember taking Fudgy home for a week. It was that kind of experience. I've had other, you know, I remember Mr. Muller. He was my 10th grade English teacher. He made me memorize the prelude to Canterbury Tales in Old English, which I still know to this day, which is embarrassing. Yeah, just a couple more. Mrs. Moran, she was, that was my first experience in acting. 10th grade English teacher, but she had a class that was like an acting class where she also had a writing class. So the kids would write these children's plays, and then she picked the best ones, and then our class would go around to like the elementary schools and perform them. It's really fun. Yeah. It's the first time I got to do John Cleese's Silly Walk.
Nice.
From Monty Python.
That's awesome.
There's a character called Sir Rubberlegs.
Yeah.
So I get to act like a fool in front of these little kids. It was fun.
That's fun. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Amber. I have two quick questions. One, what was it like playing Frank Cowles on Criminal Minds?
What was it like, killing him?
No, what was it like playing him?
Well, I killed him. Wait,
Right.
Criminal Minds.
Criminal
Sorry.
Minds,
I'm
yes.
thinking NCIS.
No. I'm
God.
thinking of the red herring
Oh,
they
man.
thought might have been the bad guy.
Yeah, you got to bring this up. You're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sleep for weeks.
Okay.
Did anybody see that Criminal Minds episode? It was called X.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. Are you going to tell him or am I?
Well, you had a certain, well, multiple body parts that you enjoyed, but it
Certain
was
fetish with
the
body parts.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
not as a whole, but in their separate.
Yeah. And they
bits.
thought I was the killer, but I was just buying them off the internet from some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I took that role actually a lot farther than CBS cared to air. And I think that was Love Hewitt's first episode. My very first day was, I was in the desert and I was having my way with these, I think it was a leg. It might have been, in a duffel bag.
It was a leg, yeah.
It was gross. And I was in the middle of whatever I was doing, and Love Hewitt knocks on the window. She's like, "You're under arrest." It's like, all right. Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I also wanted to ask if you could take your character Jack and put him into any TV show, past or present, which one would you like to be in?
What a cool question. Star Trek.
TNG or original?
Ooh. I got to go Next Generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
They've got me positioned next to Brent and Gates over there, which for me, I actually asked the promoter, "Hey, do you mind? Would you switch Devin and I so I can be next to Brent?" She did it because I'm a huge Trekkie, guys. I love it. It's really fun for me.
All right, so it looks like we have 3 more questions. We have time for 3 more questions. Hi again.
Hi. I was wondering, in any of your series, movies, was there anything that to this day kind of gives you like a chuckle that only you or between you and a cast member has either done like pranks on each other or some kind of like funny happenstance that just brings like happy joy to you to this day? Like whether it's something funny, something on trips, but it's like something that happens between you and your castmates.
I played a trick on Katie Holmes one day. It was during the scenes where she was sketching me in the nude. And I was in the nude for that stuff, which was extremely uncomfortable because, I was the new guy. And I was nervous at that point still, so I thought I'd do something not only to embarrass her, but to make myself more comfortable. So we're in rehearsals for it, and I had wardrobe stuff a 3-foot sock. You're really glad you're sitting up here with me, aren't you, my love? And we're in rehearsal, and I take the robe off, and this thing just slinks out. And her face got as red as yours. And she didn't talk to me for the rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It made my day.
That'll be in the book, trust me.
Hello.
Hello, my name's LaToya. I don't know if you've talked about this already, but can you talk about the origin story of your first name?
Oh, wow, cool. It's a Scottish last name, and they pronounce it Kerr. I'm told that our clan is notorious for being late to battle. But I have as a first name because it was my dad's mom's maiden name. So it was my grandmother's, on my dad's side, maiden name. And my dad was very close with his grandfather, so he decided to name me Kerr.
Thank you.
I mean, with Smith, you gotta go weird, right?
You gotta go big on the
You gotta
first
go,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. Hello.
Hello, I'm Patricia. On Charmed, what's a favorite scene?
Do you remember when I had the demon had me stuck to like a wall in a cave or something like that? That was fun.
Oh, it was.
It was a whole system of pulleys and magnets, and I was just, for hours on end, I'm just hanging out on this wall in between takes, eating a sandwich. They're going like this with the pulley system. Oh, let's get a sandwich up to Kerr. I like sandwiches. I'm very much Joey and Friends.
Thank you.
Thank you. So before we go, one are there any projects that that are coming up that you're allowed to talk about? I know a lot of NDAs and things like that always interfere with this question. And then secondly, any last words for our great fans here in Raleigh?
Well, I already told you about the book that I'm writing. That's what I have going on right now. Yeah, so you'll see that fall 26, I would imagine. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you for some advice on the title. What'd you say? Flight 180?
Yeah, Flight 180.
Flight 180, subtitle, 22 years later. They want to call it, the main title, I Don't Want to Wait. But for like, the subtitle, whatever you would call it, I want to call it On Dawson's Creek Without a Paddle. My wife really likes Uncharted Waters. Because, it's really about my whole journey through that experience, which was, it's kind of unique. So, do we have any votes on that? I mean, which one do you like better? Oh my God, that's like 50-50 right down the middle.
It is like 50-50.
All right, show of hands, Uncharted Waters. And then Without a Paddle.
Jesus.
That's right down the middle.
It is right.
That's crazy. Thanks for the help. Ask AI. I did actually. I was at my sister's last week, and she's like, well, let's ask chat. I was like, I don't want to use that because that's not fair when you're writing a book. Right. But she did it. And the #1 title was Without a Paddle. Wow. Yeah, so there it is.
Any last words for our great fans here who I see some struggling to make it through day 2, but thank you guys for hanging out. Any last words?
Guys, thanks so much for coming, and have a great con. I appreciate the support and everything, and love you guys. It's great.
And you'll be here Saturday and Sunday?
I'll be here Saturday and Sunday,
Saturday and Sunday. So if you haven't got a chance to swing by the table, please do so sometime this weekend. And before we go, you guys want to take like a gigantic group selfie here? All right, so if you guys want to gather up by the stage, not on the stage, by the stage.